Welcome to the Collector's House podcast from Matches Fashion. I'm Danielle Radoichin. Each episode features a conversation with a creative mind about the things that inspire them or that have given their life meaning in some way. From books to art to a piece of jewellery, these objects are collected into a cabinet which resides in physical form in the attic at 5 Carlos Place, the Matches Fashion townhouse in London. On today's show, I'm talking to Greg Chait, founder of the Elder Statesman, a line of cashmere blankets and clothing. Hi, Greg.
Hello.
Driven by an appreciation of artisan disciplines, the label is committed to producing high-end product manufactured in the best possible way. He's here with us now at 5 Carlos Place, the pop-up at the Frieze Art Fair in Los Angeles, to talk to us about 5 things that inspire him. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Have you had a look around the space at Frieze?
Not yet. I've been here before, but I'm going to take a look after.
Anything in particular that you are looking out for, or is it just
I'm going to browse.
General browse?
Yeah, general cruise around.
Yeah. Are you into art? I mean, is it a thing for you, or?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not. I like what I like, I guess. Yeah. But I don't. Yeah. I collect stuff that then I trade with friends and. Yeah. I appreciate certain things.
Yeah.
So.
And your aesthetic is very, tied up with Los Angeles and a certain vibe that's associated with Los Angeles. Is that something that have you always had that aesthetic, or is it something that you've developed?
No,
over the years?
it's actually the Elder Statesman's a first person narrative, so it's not an aesthetic that's been kind of thought of. It's kind of an aesthetic that is. So it's really just what I see and my friends see and the stories, and it's very anecdotal as well. So it just is what it is. As Los Angeles has developed, so have I, and I've traveled, and I guess I look at life through a certain lens. So and I live here, so I get that. You get that through the collection and our objects and stuff. So
it might be good to explain the story behind the name.
The name?
Yeah.
Okay, so when I was coming up, I'd actually sold my 2 blankets that were just made for me before I even had a company, so I had to kind of rush to come up with the name. But yet, I really knew that this was something special. I just kind of inherently understood the process in yarn and knitting somehow. And so I felt that this could go a long way. And I didn't know commercially how it would go. I actually didn't even know it was going to be I was going to have any sweaters. I was just making blankets. But I thought that the places that you could go to sell this stuff were these amazing metropolitan cities, but where you could go to source everything would have been these incredible rural areas. So, and every culture has some sort of knitting or weaving or yarn element. So I was like, wow, this is a great way for me to kind of attack the world, and it just checked off all these boxes, and I just loved the process. So the name had to be something that was kind of really meaningful to me, and I wanted to name it in honor of my brother who had passed kind of a few years before that. So the Elder Statesman derives from the Pitts, which are prime ministers of England, actually, so your people. And the Elder Pitt was really known for his oratory skills, his gumption, getting to a place on his own merit. So, and over time, there's an Elder Pitt and a younger Pitt. So the Elder Pitt was referred to the Elder Statesman, which is a political connotation. And over time, that took on new meaning, which generally means someone that holds a high rank in any given society but is revered by all. So earning status through merit for what you're made out of. And my brother's nickname was a mayor amongst all his friends. So
a mayor?
The mayor.
The mayor.
Yeah, he was known as the mayor. He was a pretty fair and just guy. So it worked. And I like this concept of, being held to higher standards, because, being like living up to his, like how I feel about him means that I'm constantly pushing to reach this level that, it has to be at. So we've made a lot of decisions along the way that show a lot of restraint I feel, but I think it comes from like the setup, like how we went into it. So, yeah. And his name was Paul. So
That's a really nice story.
it's a true story.
So this podcast focuses on the idea of you sharing 5 things that have inspired you, and ultimately the idea is that they go into the cabinet at 5 Carlos Place in London. However, we're here in LA at Frieze. But
So I get to keep them?
You can keep them. I mean,
Okay.
you know, I think we've got an imaginary cabinet here this time.
Okay.
So I was wondering what the first thing was that you put in there.
First thing I put in there is this little bracelet. that I
Bracelet
have.
you're wearing.
Yeah, but it's anecdotal. I was with my mom a few weeks ago, and it's just kind of something that we do. She has lots of great jewelry, and I saw it across.
Does she live here?
No, she lives in Arizona.
Oh,
She's
so
South
she was
African.
visiting.
She was visiting for my daughter's birthday, and it's kind of one of those things where I'm like, that's nice. And I'm like, I'll take that. Thank you very much. But it's just so beautiful. Actually, what ends up being is it's over 100-year-old watch bracelet, rose gold, and that's her little heart from when she was a baby. So it's like things like that, and it's a story behind them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I wear right now, and you can't prove that it doesn't give me extraordinary powers. So I
It looks like it gives
that.
you power.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's the first one.
That's beautiful.
Thanks.
Just going back to the blankets, I think, and this podcast is called The Collector's House, so we're always interested in people that are collecting things as
Sure.
well.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I've ever met anyone before who collects blankets.
Yes.
Can you tell us where this began?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it was as surprising to you as it is to me, or as surprising to me as it is to you, rather. It started, I was working in entertainment, and we had done, and it was like a wild...
That's when you first came to LA,
Yeah.
right? You had the job working
Yeah,
in
I started in
that
the
industry.
mailroom and thought I wanted to be in music, but I ended up liking music too much to work in the industry, if that makes sense.
I think I know what you mean.
Yeah. So, but our company was kind of, as a very young executive at this company, I'd done a favor for someone at Tom Ford's Gucci at the time, like connected with one of our clients. I don't remember what the actual favor was, to be totally honest. But lo and behold, a few weeks later, this beautiful package shows up, and it's an amazing, simple, but beautiful cashmere blanket. I think they purchased it at Barney's. I don't remember the brand, but this kind of set me off to, like, what is this? Because I'd really never touched, like, a proper high-quality cashmere blanket before that. And I didn't sleep under my own sheets for, I don't know, 4 years after that, because I kept looking for these things. And
But you slept under that blanket?
Under that blanket, and then I needed more blankets. And then I started going to Maxfield and asking them, where else can I find blankets? And traveling around the world with my jobs and things, I'd go to these stores and special places like Brown's in London, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot to, like, all these special, what do you call it, multi-brand shops that had lots of curiosities, and blankets were kind of a curiosity that wasn't like, so I would look and look and look and buy the ones I liked and then ones I could find, but I ended up with about 30 after a few years.
Where'd you keep them?
In my house, in my room.
So they have to be kept in a certain way to not, I don't know. In the UK, for example, you'd have to think about moths.
Yeah, we think about moths. We have a very extensive, insect plan. Yeah.
Does it involve, like, bagging them up?
Yeah, it involves a lot of things.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have to be really careful. We kind of like trying to attack the problem before it happens. But with those ones, I was moving them around so much and cleaning them and looking at them so much. I at the time didn't have any problem with moths. A lot of that happens when you're like something stagnant and then you pull it out, and it's happened.
So you do get moths out here as well?
Yeah. People get moths here.
And actually, since we're on it,
it's a scary topic. I don't
it is.
even like to like.
And especially for you,
It's
right?
just like it's like the biggest disaster there is. Yeah.
Yeah. So what is, since we're talking about it, what is the way to guard against moths with your cashmere? To your mind?
I think it's getting ahead of it. You know.
Prevention.
Moving your pieces around a lot, having a good like Orkin plan. I know it doesn't sound very sexy, but just making
A working plan.
Orkin, like it's a company that like has this moth protection.
Oh,
so
right.
like if you get ahead of it, you have a better chance of them not coming after you. But they'll still come. So you
Do
just
you
have
put
to be
them in
careful.
those bags?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've tried everything. Cedar. It all works a little bit. I don't know. I'm not sure about the exact science.
Just
of
try
it.
lots of different stuff.
Yeah, but be active.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
I think.
Be active in your anti-moth.
If you can, yeah. I mean, if you really want to
Activity.
prevent it, you have to get ahead of it, I think.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Right. So what else is going into the cabinet?
Well, I would say that first blanket.
Okay. You still
That'd
have
be
it?
key. Yes, of course.
You still sleep under it?
I look at it sometimes. Yeah. And I still think it's beautiful because that's the thing with cashmere. It's measurable and quality is quality.
Yes.
Whether it's just a simple, it's brown, it's rectangle.
Yes.
Very simple, but it was beautiful. And that's what I think, like, that helped me have the confidence that there's complete longevity in what I'm doing, because there's a inherent value, like an inherent quality to it. You don't have to fake the quality.
Yeah. You've spoken a bit in interviews about how the quality of cashmere is measurable, so there is a science to it.
Yes.
For people who don't know as much detail about cashmere as you, which is most people, can you explain what micron measurements is?
Oh, I prefer not to.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean it's a unit of measurement, and
Yeah.
for cashmere, the lower it is, the better it is.
Okay, so you can actually go...
Yeah, and there's labs you can actually, if you want to test the quality of your goods, you can actually find these labs that will test it for you. So when we're getting big shipments from a new supplier, we can make sure that it's good and we can spot check it. So on our end, yeah. You find that a lot with the like we work a lot in Japan, so we have to send enough of our yarn or fabric ahead of time,
Right.
and the customs will make sure that it is the content and the quality that you're saying it is, which I think is good. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
And are you, because you're based out here in LA, do you sort of think about fashion and trends that are happening in like the fashion capitals like New York and London, or are you do you feel like you're more in a silo here?
I mean, I think that's the beauty of being here, is that it's not fashion. I'm putting air quotes. I don't know, but
He's doing air quotes.
yeah. It's not really a fashion town, so you don't have to really think about what other people are doing. And I'm interested. I'm a huge fan of some designers, but I just like being a fan. But I don't know. I think it's benefited us being in a community that's so spread out. That is a creative community, because LA is a creative community.
Yeah.
It's just fashion's not the leader here, so it's really positive. It's a tough town. Like, don't let the palm trees fool you. This is a hard city, and it's an amazing.
Tough to build a business, or
It's just, it's a competitive.
Yeah.
This is one of the top cities in the world, so it's an amazing place, and it's driven by creativity, like more,
yeah,
film, music.
yeah,
So what I found was it was a really supportive community when I was doing something, not only in fashion, but something really unique within the realm, that we had a lot of support from some amazing people, just because they were supporting creativity.
Who are these people? They sound like some sort of magical...
They are a magical bunch.
Where do you find them?
They find you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
They are out there looking, and they are amazing. And so we've been fostering and nurturing that clientele since the beginning. So there's always been kind of two parts of our business, well before e-commerce was even on the table, was a direct relationship with clients. Actually, many of them are...
They're here at Frieze?
Yeah, I would say. Yeah. There's people looking for stuff, just like I was looking for blankets. So I would show up to people's doors, knocking. So it's the same thing.
Yeah. Do you find that you have a certain kind of client, or is it just
That's
anyone,
the beauty
everyone?
of it. This sweater that I'm wearing right now.
Meditate sweater.
But it could be, like, you could wear it
I want to
someone
wear
with a
it.
total different profile than you wears
Yeah.
it for different reasons, and I find that's the beauty of what we do, because we just focus on, back to the name, we focus on this and getting this right, putting it out in the world, and then it's up to people that just like the sweater. And we're constantly pleasantly surprised by the type of like different people that are buying this stuff. From a 16-year-old kid that's like obsessed with like Carol Christian Pole or something like that, could wear this sweater, to like an Upper East Side grandmother who's into head to toe Chanel could wear the sweater for a whole different reason. And that's what I like. I like fitting in. I like other brands or designers being amazing. You know what I mean? That's good for the business. I like our stuff complementing
You
their
like
wardrobe.
fitting around.
Yeah.
Are there which designers, you said before that there are other designers that you admire?
Well, yeah, I mean.
Tom Ford, you're still in?
Well, that was, I mean, I don't know if you were in the fashion, I'm a little older maybe than you, but I didn't really know much about fashion then, but I could tell like how exciting the world around that was, at the time.
What was
how did it was just huge. I don't know, it just felt good. I didn't actually know much about the clothes.
Yeah.
I just felt the vibe around it. It just felt really big.
You were drawn to it.
Yeah, everybody was, really.
Yeah.
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 Maybe it was just my sphere that I was working in. I don't know, but everyone around me was.
What else have you got for us?
Oh yeah, the collection designers I really like. I mean, number 9. It's not around anymore, but Takehiro's company's got the soloist now. But number 9 was the first time I understood what a brand could be and what it should be. In my opinion, that was where I understood what fashion was.
Right.
I saw it all in one place. I'm like, oh, I always knew style. I didn't even know I knew style, but that's where I really was like, wow, this is incredible. And that was the place.
Yeah.
He did a really special thing with that company.
Well, because you were one of the co-founders of Subi Jeans as well.
I was a partner, and I didn't found it, but it started in my living room.
All right.
Here in America, it started in my living room at night.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was funny. It was a crazy time. Yeah.
Did you have the same vision for the brand in that case as you did with the Elder Statesman?
Different.
'Cause, I mean, that was an amazing brand as well.
We did, but that was like, I think what was the similarities between the two at that company at that time was we set up a good system. So when you plugged in, like all the people that plug into the Elder Statesman add value, and it can become this amazing thing and be totally unexpected, which is fun for me. Like I'm like, wow, you did that, that's incredible. Like a couple of the girls are here, I would see, like I'm totally inspired by like the stuff they bring to the table.
Yeah.
Like, wow. So at Subi, like what I brought to the table, like helped change in my values, and they were trusting. I think the trust element. They let me run with it, and actually asked me to run with it. I didn't know what I was doing, and they let me run with it, and good things happened. Crazy things happened, but good things happened.
It's crazy good. It exploded.
It was
that
wild.
brand.
Yeah, but like you should have seen what was happening in our office. It was
really? What
insane. Yeah. These guys, yeah, Dan and George at the time, like, and Garrett, actually. There was a few of them, but they did incredible. They were way, way ahead. Like, way ahead.
In terms of the branding or in terms of the fabric?
Just where they were at. Just like with...
Are they still doing that?
They're not part... I have no idea.
No.
I know Subi's back. It makes me happy to see the little crosses on people's legs.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So I was a partner and part of the company, so... So, yeah. But yeah, system was important.
Yeah, it's an interesting idea. Going back to the cabinet, what else are you going to put in there?
It's got to be a big cabinet, so I'll put my car.
Oh yeah, what kind of car?
It's a '64 Impala, which I really enjoy.
I'm looking, pretending that I know what that is, but I don't.
It's a great car. It's a Chevrolet.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Where did you find it?
I bought it off a mechanic in Sacramento, and it's just part of me. I love that car. So I'm from Arizona, so it's a car culture.
Yeah.
So I grew up loving cars.
Does it look old?
Oh, it's old.
Yeah.
And it's big, and it's beautiful. It's got red interior.
Wow.
So.
And do you drive it?
I
Actually
do.
drive it?
I
It's
do.
not one of those ones that you keep in the garage?
No, I like things. It's like I like things that I can use. I don't drive it all the time. because traffic.
Yes.
It sometimes
Traffic is really
sometimes overheats, but I drive it in the summers mostly.
What color is it?
White.
Amazing.
That's pretty cool.
It's your only car that you own?
No, it is not.
Oh.
It's not what I drive
How
every
many?
day. No, I just have another car, like a daily.
A car for getting around.
Yeah.
Okay, so we never had a car in the cabinet at 5 Carlos Place before.
Okay.
I think it will look pretty cool, actually. What else would you put in there?
Jeez.
The car, the blanket, your bracelet.
Has to be an object?
No, I mean it could be an abstract thing or a place. Like some people choose like an art gallery, and then we sort of represent it with a postcard.
I'd say, actually, well, there's a book and a spirit behind the book. Like my grandmother was a artist and a children's book writer, and she wrote a book called Gregory and the Magic Cactus when I was a little boy.
What was her name?
Thelma Chait, and the book was about how I grew up in Arizona, and she was South African. She had this amazing imagination about what it was like. That she'd come visit from time to time, but I found this little cactus that was struggling, and I made it grow from love and education, and her name was Sunshine Sue. And it's this, I don't know, my cousins and I and my dad and his brothers, she was she's the boss, the coolest lady, so
wow.
that means a lot. So that definitely has
Is it still in print?
I don't think so, but it should be. It's really beautiful. I go back to it from time to time. The cactus is called Sunshine Sue.
Oh.
And my daughter's middle name is Sue.
Sunshine Sue.
Yeah, Dorothy Sue.
That's so nice. Does your daughter read it?
Yeah, we look at it from time to time.
Ah, that's nice.
Yeah, it must be trippy for her.
I also want just going back to your label, and one thing I read about you that I thought was really cool was that you, and I don't know if this is still something that you do, but I read that you employ women all around America who knit from their homes for you.
Yeah.
How does that happen? How does it work?
There's no formula. We've met people. I've met someone at Starbucks who said, "Nice hat." I said, "Thanks." I'm like, "Did you make it?" He said, "Yeah." I'm like, "You want to knit for me?" And
wow.
Yeah. And sometimes it sticks, sometimes it doesn't.
How many people are knitting for you?
Shoot. In our own factory, we have, how many employees? We have like 53, 55 people for a very little company, but we're employing...
They told me it was 50 before?
That's like full-time, and then we have different artisans around, knitters and weavers and things, and stitchers and people that do really cool stuff. But they don't all work for me all the time.
Do they have to pass a test or something?
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, it's not a test. I mean, amongst like good knitters, a good knitter. So.
That's so cool.
But it's an interesting thing because you can knit from home. It's legal to knit from home. You can't like produce many goods from home, but knitting is, because it's something you can do while you're also caretaking or doing other things, and I think it's a pretty neat way to make some extra dollars, or depending the relationship that you build. But it's not like an easy thing to do anymore, and most business models aren't really set up for it, but we are.
Yeah.
So.
And are you interested in, I was just wondering if leading on...
I like working with people.
Right.
I find I love people's ability to create stuff. Like, that's what drives me. I'm just naturally fascinated by the fact that someone can do something so cool. Yeah.
So no two pieces that you're from the Elder Statesman are the same?
Generally speaking, not really. I mean, we can get this one pretty close, but like a hand knit cap, I mean, if it's hand spun yarn, hand knit, they're not going to be exactly the same.
I suppose what's good about using people...
But if they're really good, you can rely on their accuracy to be quite similar, right? So that's part of being good, like replication.
Yeah. And I suppose by working in that way, you can scale, can't you? Because you can just keep finding more knitters, more craftspeople.
Theoretically. Yeah.
Theoretically.
Yeah, I mean, we just...
Are they just in the US, these knitters, or do you...
No, we've worked around the world with different people from different, at different times. You know, we're developing a relationship with a group of women in our own, in our own backyard right now, so we're working on getting that up and running. I won't say
As in LA,
too much.
is that an expression? Do you mean that?
No,
as
like in
literally?
California.
Right,
like,
right.
yeah, in
Okay,
California,
yeah.
but friend helped identify a group of talented people that were doing a project for them, and they're like, hey man, I think they can knit. And I was up there as fast as possible and talked with them.
Cool.
So
Have you ever felt you should make a film about that or them knitting? I think that's something that I'd like to see.
Yeah,
all right.
it's cool. It's
Yeah.
probably quite meditative. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
What's your final object for the cabinet?
I haven't thought of one. No, I'm just kidding. Awkward.
Books.
No, I think it's probably meant we'd have to make the cabinet even bigger, because I'm really into a concept of, and actually I'd live it, and I have this crazy old trailer-ish type home in Malibu. It's not big. It's a tiny little house. It's kind of like living on a boat, but it's its own little thing.
Is it on the beach?
It's near the beach. It's near a place that I like to go to the beach, so that's helpful. But I think it's kind of cool to, growing up, you think the end is this, big wall with, like, there's nothing wrong with doing well commercially. But I found it fascinating that I'm extremely happy in this tiny little amazing place. And I think that's important. If I don't like to preach about anything, but that's a good one in the sense that I think people get mixed up on like where happiness lies.
Where happiness lies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, it's like by choice, and it's so good. I mean, I can't really figure out some place that's better,
How long have you lived there?
5 years almost. I had it with no intention of making it my full-time home, and I was like, this place is great. Come home here on vacation, everyone's happy, it's healthy, it's close.
Yeah.
So that would be my 5th.
Great.
Yeah.
It's going to be an enormous cabinet, but
Yes.
it sounds really cool. All right.
A hanger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. A bit like Paramount.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Greg, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It was
Thank
really
you for having
enjoyable.
me. Yeah, it was. It was
Pleasure.
actually fun.
Yeah, I've learned a lot. Thanks.
Thank you. Me too.
So that was an episode of The Collector's House, a Matches Fashion podcast. You can find more episodes and more about 5 Carlos Place on the Matches Fashion website, and you can join the conversation on social media by searching for @MatchesFashion, @MatchesFashionMan, and the hashtag 5 Carlos Place. Thanks for joining us.